Hi there, it's your friend Phil, PMP exam instructor, PMP and CAPM coach. I'm here to talk to you today about ITTOs. It's a subject many people are scared about on the PMP exam. Now, the honest truth is that ITTOs needn't scare you because the testing of ITTOs on the exam is going to be more based on what those ITTOs mean, not where they go, not being able to regurgitate, oh, that's an input of here, this, no. Some of those things are helpful, they've got their place, but for you to tell me that you think the whole exam is going to beat you up, ITTOs left, right, and center is not true. The ITTOs will be featured, but the questions are not going to be, project charter is an input too. No, it's not going to be that. It's going to be more pregnant with depth and meaning to really take you and whip you around the room. That's what it's going to do. But if you really know what an ITTO is, you won't be one bit moved by seeing them on the test because you will know what they are. A student of mine who went through my system of ITTOs in 6 hours called PMP Exam Power Review. It's a course. You can go to Praizion.com, check it out. She had 4 proficients and 1 moderately proficient. It didn't surprise me because she had listened to what I talk about in that series, which is know the ITTOs. Do not cram, do not try to memorize all the sets of ITTOs in one table. That's not going to get you very far. But anyway, ITTOs, so important that I've got a new book on them called ITTO Science Power Cards. Now that's a really fat book. That's even thicker than the PMBOK. But the good news is it's more like a game, more like a quiz. So if you're getting ready for the CAPM or PMP, I would strongly advise you to get the book. Or if you wanted to make life easier for yourself and not have to lug about this heavy, thick book, go to Google Play or go to Amazon and just search for ITTO Power Cards and get the app. Please get the app. I mean, this thing is heavy. I mean, if you flung this thing at someone, that's enough to put them out of commission from taking the PMP exam. So anyway, let's take a look at these ITTOs. I'd like to show you a new mindset, a new perspective of looking at these ITTOs. One of the ways you can look at these ITTOs, if they make you nervous, if they make you have sleepless nights, begin to look for trends and commonalities. Begin to create your own set of ITTO rules. Make some exceptions to those rules to help you remember these ITTOs for your peace of mind. Because I know on the exam they're probably not going to bring them out in this way. But it also does help you when you're able to make these exclusions and inclusions of ITTOs. Now we're using PMBOK guide terms for ITTOs. Goodness help us. Okay, let's take a look at these ITTOs for integration management. So we're going to be looking at integration here. In integration, do you remember we've got 6 processes and lots of ITTOs. So I'm going to take it like this, a step at a time for all the 6, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can probably divide this into 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the first process is within the integration and initiating intersection. Remember, this is in initiating, and it's called Develop Project Charter. So let me put Develop Project Charter here, actually. Okay, Develop Project Charter. We're going to make a little table here. I've got my inputs, I've got my tools and techniques, and I've got my outputs. Okay? So as you go about doing this stuff, I want you to remember, you need to look for commonalities. You need to look for big ticket items that can help save time. One of the big ticket items within the integration area is a particular tool and technique, which is a staple feature of every process. So think about expert judgment. Where don't you need it in integration? So we're going to put expert judgment here. Expert judgment. And I'm just going to put EJ all the way down. So EJ, all the way down. Every single process that I'm going to fill in here uses expert judgment. Let's put develop project management plan in as well. This is in planning, and it's develop project management plan. And let me just make this a little bit darker, because I'm concerned you might not be able to see it. So let's go ahead and use a much bolder color for all of these EJs and this. So hold on to that thought. EJ for all of these. Expert judgment, all the way for all 6. All right, now that's established. Now, I know it's not in the order that's in the PMBOK guide. Let's not try and follow the order, because the order doesn't have anything to do with understanding. So that's that. The third one that we've got is in executing, and it's direct and manage project work, right? The next one is in monitoring and controlling, and it's monitor and control project work. And the last one, oh well, there are 2 actually, so let's do the other one, which is perform integrated change control, also in monitoring and controlling. Perform integrated change control. And the last one is in closing, which is close project or phase. So very quickly, develop project charter is developing the project charter. We need expert judgment for that. Developing the project management plan, we need expert judgment for that. Driving the work, this is an integrative process, which is an umbrella process to integrate all of the executing processes that fall under it in that table, that famous table, you know. Expert judgment is used to drive the work. We do a lot of human resource and communications management here. This is monitor and control project work. We use expert judgment to drive these things. You know, we use analytical techniques as well. We need to apply expert judgment and these techniques to enable us to understand where the project is. We're going to talk about that a bit more. Perform integrated change control. We need expert judgment to be able to assess if a change has occurred or needs to occur, or we assess the change. The change control board is full of people with expert judgment. That's how they make decisions. And close project or phase, we need expert judgment, and we also need to be able to analyze through these techniques if we should really truly close out the project or not. So those other processes, expert judgment is used in all of them. Something else I should tell you that is used as an input, and 2 inputs to almost all of them except here, is EEFs and OPAs, enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. So if we just keep that in mind, that EEFs are used in every process except the final one, we're not going to have too much trouble remembering that for integration, are we? So we're not going to have that there. Instead, we're going to have OPAs as the only one, but we're also going to have OPAs everywhere else. See? And if you really think about the why, that is really why we're doing this, to find out, okay, why do I have organizational process assets? What would I use those OPAs for? What would they look like? Now we have work performance data, which is an output of this, and work performance data. You remember that. That's an output of direct and manage project work. That output needs to go to several processes in the monitoring and controlling process group. In fact, here's another bonus for you. All of the processes in the monitoring and controlling process group, except this and this within integration, all of them use work performance data, every single one of them. That's a quick way. That saves you time for your exam. Free up your mind by looking for these commonalities. Now, work performance data gets converted to work performance information after we have analyzed it. And then after that analysis, we get another input here, which is of significance, which is called work performance information. Now, this work performance information coming in here needs to be put into a context that people can understand, that stakeholders can relate to. So, we've got work performance information as an input. We have analytical techniques used to further analyze this and put it in the context of a work performance report. See, these analytical techniques are used in two processes in integration. This is going to help you get more bang for your buck when you study this. Don't look for analytical techniques anywhere else other than to understand the project through your work performance report and to understand if the project or phase should be closed or if you could move to the next. You call that analytical techniques. Okay? So I've shown you some really powerful commonalities so far. Expert judgment used in all, EEFs and OPAs used in all except in closing where we only have OPAs. I've also shown you that work performance data is a key output of executing. This is the only place in the PMBOK that you get this from, work performance data. Work performance reports are from work performance data being processed in the controlling processes, except those two, and coming back in the form of work performance information. That work performance information converted to the work performance report. Now, I do need to take a break here, but when I come back, I will continue to show you the tricks concerning project integration management.